1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon.
Percent of the body, but it uses 20% of the energy, and that's just an ordinary life. So a referee, and I've often kind of thought this before, and it hasn't really been mentioned before, but the concentration level, they cannot, unlike a player, every player on that pitch, even a goalkeeper when the ball's elsewhere, they can lose concentration. They can, you know, and all the balls come my way, and you suddenly get jerked back into the present. Oh God, I've got to tackle that bloke or whatever. Players can lose concentration for short periods, and they no doubt they do. But a referee cannot do that, because he's got to consciously and constantly be looking where that ball is and what, you know, what's happening. And you've got to be quite close to it. You've got to decide where you're going to run, where you're going to position yourself. Yes, a lot of that becomes autopilot positioning, but not the concentration level. And I think that's one of the reasons that we do see referees make mistakes, quite understandably human mistakes. I mean, there's a level beyond which is not tolerated, and that's right. But I think that was a good example of a referee the other day he just momentarily lost his concentration. And can you imagine refereeing a big game and, you know, the 60,000 people there at St James's Park, whatever it was, or Wembley, where there's 85, 90,000. And you are a very central figure, more so even than the players. You are the person who actually you hope you can keep out of sight, in the sense, I think a good referee is one you actually forget is there. And you suddenly think at half-time, wow, he's had a good game, because there's not been an excess of blowing up for trivial things, and he's done the right things. That's a good referee. But to be that focal point, and you know, one poor decision, they're going to be singing the referee as a what's it, or, you know, you're not fit to referee and all this. We you know, I always have a bit of a feeling for the refs, even when they've had a bad game, to be so singled out like they are. You've got to have some oomph about you to be a referee. But the big thing is concentration, and a job in football, a game they no doubt love, like the players do and like the fans do. In a way, they've got the worst job in that stadium, because they cannot take their mind off. If I'm, as I do, I sit in the stand quite close to the players, and sometimes I might have a swig of my drink and, you know, oh, this game's getting a bit more, whatever, and you keep your concentration. But to a degree, you don't have to be following every single pass on the pitch. You think what a ref has to do. So they have a very difficult job, and they have my sympathy for what it's worth. But yeah, you lose your concentration, and if you start doing that as a matter of course in games, then you're out, and you should be. But I think that was just a bit unfortunate for him. And that's where VAR can help. I think Mark Halsey also said, perhaps referees have become too reliant on VAR, because they know, it's why they tend to, the linesman often won't flag an offside if it's a bit marginal. He'll let the player go on and score if he does score, and then the flag goes up and VAR check it. And the refs know, if they've made a wrong decision, it can be corrected. And that's the beauty, that's the benefit of VAR. But it also can almost make the refs, I don't mean lazier, but they can think, well, it's not so vital. I maintain this 110% concentration throughout 90 minutes or 90 plus minutes, because VAR is there to protect me. If I make a wrong one, they will change it. And he said, yeah, refs have become too reliant on that, which then again you think, why wouldn't they? Of course they're going to take help that takes off the burden of 100% concentration. Next time, cuz, you're doing something, whatever, like we all do in the course of a day, just think, if I had to do what I'm doing now for an hour and a half.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
And a half, might have a 10-minute, 15-minute break in the middle, but in those two 90-minute blocks. I cannot let my concentration waver from either what I'm reading. You know, you read a book, you read anything, and every so often we think about what we're reading, and the concentration wavers. But it's hard. It's really hard. And I think if the public, if the football fans if we were told this, made more aware of just what a referee has to contend with, this concentration level, I think it would make for more understanding. But also we would all have to say, well, you just got to do it. If you're not up to that, then don't do the job. But maybe they could, I don't know, maybe some people have suggested having another sort of video ref just to help. I mean, they're all in touch with each other, the refs and the VAR people on the headphones. There could be other things they could do. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? In the World Cup, the Euros, those tournaments, you often have another official, not just the fourth official, running behind the goal lines. Do you know what I mean? So when you take a corner, you've got an official also standing there between the goal and you. And I've never quite understood why they do that, but maybe it's to help good decisions. And I don't know, maybe VAR has, meant you don't need to do that anymore. I don't know, but as far as I know, they always have. So you sort of get sort of 4 or 5 officials coming out at the beginning of the match, and then they all line up somewhere. But yeah, it's a bit of a long way round. I've said it, but I have sympathy for refs. But at the same time, we've got to have a system where the majority of decisions are correct. Sometimes they won't be, and you have to accept that. But what he did the other day was, I think Wayne Rooney said, I don't think he meant it specifically against the ref himself, but he said that was the worst decision he's ever seen. And when you think about it, he was so much inside that area.
It was,
How could they not have seen that? So I think concentration is the answer to this.
So you're saying, and we're saying, it's not deliberate. It's not deliberately trying to.
What, the mistake? Oh no.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I'm not suggesting there's any funny business about it. No. I mean, we do sometimes read, don't we, of in Europe or in America somewhere, South America perhaps, you do read that a ref has been charged with, taking bribes and for Eastern syndicates, betting syndicates. It has happened in the past. I think our leagues have always been pretty clean on that, to be fair. But yeah, no, I don't think there's any suggestion that there was. I think anyone who would suggest that will be a bit foolish, because however.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us